All right, guys, it's Jahlon with the Paradox Gaming Network, and today I finally have gotten the time to do the Fractured video. I want to talk a little bit about Fractured. I've been pushing this game since about January when I first heard about it, and I want to give people just a little few nibbles to maybe convince them to go over to the website and check it out. If you really like what you see here and you don't have time to do the research, throw a comment below and tell me like what aspect of the game you'd like to know more about, and then that might get you a text answer, or it might get another video made. So I want to talk about Fractured, but first I want to talk about Dynamight Studios. No, that's not a typo. They are a brand new company out of Milan, Italy. They have 8 full-time developers and 3 freelancers. They first announced the emergence of Fractured and the studio on June 6th of 2017. So that's just about a year ago. Their Kickstarter is starting on 25 June. Now, I want to put this out here. I am by no means advertising or fully endorsing saying you should go throw money down on the Kickstarter. I've stopped doing that, been burned too many times. I will no longer like rah rally for Kickstarters. My personal opinion is MMOs shouldn't be crowdfunded through Kickstarter. We can talk about that more later. Absolutely has nothing to do with Dynamight Studios. That is my opinion on MMO crowdsourcing and Kickstarter. That's been a statement of mine for months now. So don't think this is an endorsement, but don't think that I'm saying anything bad about Dynamite. They don't have anything to do with each other. Little technical information. They're building on Unity Engine using Spatial OS. Now, Unity Engine is responsible for Hearthstone and Cities Skylines. There is no major MMO on Unity. Now, I know that's usually like a warning bell, a red alert in the back of people's heads. I did spend some time researching Unity. Absolutely nothing about Unity would preclude you from making an MMO on it. As far as Spatial OS, still getting myself familiar with how all of this is going to work, but it does look like Spatial OS is going to give developers the ability to have really big worlds that transcend server limitations. So if you're familiar with EVE Online, they have a giant cluster of servers that because their universe, it's a single persistent universe. Spatial OS looks like a cloud-based method to sort of get on par with not the huge scale of EVE, but sort of on par or in that realm. Now, what is Fractured directly? Fractured is an open-world sandbox MMORPG. There are some videos available for it. I'll get into those in a follow-up video. The game looks pretty good already. If what you're going to hear today gets you inspired, you'll have the links to where you need to get to. It's going to be action combat-based, sort of downward-looking, sort of Diablo-esque, and fully interactable environments. Now, fully interactable environments were last discussed for EQ Next. I'll get into that just a little bit later. Combat is based on skill, not level or gear. They say that you can get into the game right away, and if you are really good at combat, you could potentially beat somebody who has been playing for a while. We've heard this in a couple other games, Chronicles mainly. I've heard that same thing said. So we're starting to see a change in the genre for PvP-based games. It's starting to be more non-gear-based, non-level-based, but sort of player versus player truly. For all of you non-PvPers out there, Fractured has some stuff for you. Resource gathering, crafting, trading, exploration. Going to get into a little bit more in that at the end. Is this your standard flavor of game? I'm going to say no, and I can't really present all of this in a paradoxical impressions. This is, again, just tidbits to get you interested. If you got questions, ask them below. First and foremost, they have 3 races that have 3 different gameplays. There's so much I could say about that, but you got humans who have free will. They can pretty much do whatever they want. You have the Beastmen who are kind of like tribal pacifists, and then you have demons. That right there is what has kept me going back to Fractured over and over. They have a truly evil, diabolical demon race of player characters. You want to be the bad guy? You want to be the villain? Be a demon. Race determines your starting planet, starting resources. Now, you're actually on different planets. You can travel to the other planets, and when you travel, there are combat repercussions. You become a target if you're a demon and you go to the Beastmen planet. Lots of intricacies there. That's what I love. I'm not, like I said, this is just an overview for flavor. Abilities, spells, and crafting. What's available in that for your abilities and your spells is based on your starting planet. What your villages and your towns look like, obviously that should be based on your starting planet, but I wanted to make sure to caveat that. What your society looks like, what gods you have access to, how you travel, where you can travel, what traveling means, all of that is determined based on your starting race. Now, they didn't just say starting race. They went pretty good, pretty detailed. For Beastmen, you've got your Tigerkin, your Wolfkin, your Bearkin. They called Heartkin. I call them Deerkin because, you know, you got antlers. Here's your demons, vampires, nightmares, and infernals. How do you go wrong with demons? Then you've got your humans. Like I said, there's like infinitely more information available on all the intricacies on races. I don't have time to do that here. If you guys want a video done on just the races, I'll do that for you. And it's, if you want to just go read it, it's Fractured Spotlight number 1. There's a link to the Fractured Spotlight 1 in the description below. The business model. Now, I know what people are like, Jahlon, stop. You're getting me like a foot in the door. I'm interested. I'm going to go look. I want to know the business model. It's going to be buy to play with a cosmetic cash shop. Now, I know we keep hearing about cosmetics cash shops. I have to say this. Ashes of Creation, cosmetic cash shop. Only cosmetics. No statistical advantage. Fractured, cosmetic cash shop. No statistical advantage. Bless said they were going to be a cosmetic cash shop, but they do sell stuff on the cash shop that gives you an advantage. So make sure that you put up your checkbox, and we have to keep Dynamite honest when they release their cash shop because they have said cosmetics would be for sale. With that said, I'm going to talk about this fully interactable environment. Now, one of the biggest things for me for EverQuest Next that I was totally excited about was I remember the description of you're a mage and you come up to a bridge and there's a warrior on it and you know there's no way you're going to be able to beat the warrior. So you cast a fire spell at the bridge and you burn the ropes and the ropes burn and the warrior goes goodbye. Or the warrior has to run back to the other end of the bridge and now you're separated from him. You couldn't beat your opponent head on, so you beat him with your brain. Direct quote from their webpage. Stuck between a clan of bandits and a raging river, animate the water to protect you or freeze them over to cross to safety, then melt them to drown your foes. That's awesome to me. I don't know how well it's going to work, so I'm really stoked to see how fully interactable the environment is. Can I dig a hole? Can I make traps? So this is another thing that has me interested in coming back to Fractured and continuously just looking at it. So this is a selling point for me. I know it's going to be a selling point for a lot of people. Housing. They have more than just housing. They have full settlement development. Your guild can build a settlement, and then obviously if you build it, they will come. People will come to it. People will come to try to take it. Don't have a lot of details on it. I wanted you to know that it is a planned feature. I know housing in today's MMO market is really a big selling point. So as more comes available on this, I will probably end up coming back to another Fractured video to talk about their housing. Their release timeline. I know it's great to say there's this great grand game, but is it going to be out in like 2022? No, they say alpha testing for high tier backers is going to be this year in 2018. Like I said, they've already put out a couple of videos. 8 full-time developers doesn't seem like a lot, but they seem to be moving along pretty well. More details in a few days with the Kickstarter announcement. Well, if you are a person who wants to Kickstarter, you'll be able to see what gets you what. Now, copy and paste, same old, same old. I look at probably 10 to 20 games a week that are in development. And most things don't ever jump out and grab me because they're just copy pasta of the same thing. this screenshot right here is one that really got me interested. Now, as you can see, you can't see what any of the things you're unlocking, what the skills are, but I love the complexity of this talent tree. I love the resistances: slash, pierce, crush, fire, ice, shock, magic, acid, ethereal, psychic. Just seeing this attributes page makes me want to jump in. One thing I did forget to mention, the player attributes. Your race determines your attributes. Your specific sub-race really does change them. So this isn't a copy-pasta racial game where everyone's the same when they shouldn't be. This menu right here makes me, again, is another thing that's going to keep me following Fractured. And since it's a buy-to-play, I have zero problem throwing down a little bit of money for a game. As long as I get $1 an hour, that's what I paid for it. So if the game's $50, I have no idea what it's going to be. If the game's $50 and I get 50 hours out of it, I'm good with that. I also love how they have done, called the Foundation. It's part of how their referral program, but it's also part of them building a community. Between these guys and Ashes of Creation, these two games are really making us be community-minded again. As you can see, I'm level 41 at the Foundation. A lot of this is me getting on there, posting on the forums, reading. You get points for reading the blog entries, reading the frequently asked questions, just doing little things like putting an icon on, you get points. As you can see, 150 Dynamite Gold, 200 Dynamite Gold. So I've gotten 350 Dynamite Gold. That's their cash shop currency. Huge thing. They're also, if you do the referral program, I have referred 18 friends to the game. I get points as they are interactive in the game. So, shameless plug. My referral link is here. I'm going to put my referral link in the description below. I really want to see these guys succeed. Now, is this going to become my primary go-to game? No. As everybody knows, that Ashes of Creation is my next go-to game. But this is definitely shaping up to be like my side game, like my couple of hours away from my main game or my daytime game while I'm gaming with my friends in Ashes at night. Really, really strong looking game. Also a big alternative to Ashes for people who don't like the Ashes concept. So shameless, here's my referral link. If you don't want to use it, it costs you nothing to do. If you don't want to use it, just go to fracturedmmo.com. It'll get you to the same place. And that's it, guys. This is, like I said, you're probably thinking, Jahlon, you didn't give me a whole lot there. I wasn't really trying to give you a whole lot. I was trying to give you just enough, maybe something to grab you and get you to go do some research on your own. If you need me to do the research for you, leave a comment below. If you want to talk more in depth, you can jump on my Discord. Join my show on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays. And of course, thank you to my sponsors all the time. My sponsors are what makes a lot of the things I do possible. So I always want to make sure that I say thank you to my Patreon sponsors. Well, that's it, guys. I got to get into post-production to get this one put out. And I will see you either in Discord. I will see you on Twitch. Take care. Hey, where are you going? You're not done yet. See these videos? This video's up here to watch. You got to go over here. Hit the chibi. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the webpage. And I'll see you guys on Twitch.